A creative mind is a fertile land for growth. Day one, hit the ground running. Day two, continue running. Day three, don't rest.
To be here today to present my administration's 2024 budget proposal.
On Wednesday, the 29th of November, the President of Nigeria, President Ahmed Bola Tinubu, presented the proposed 2024 budget before the joint session of the National Assembly. This particular budget is by far the highest in Nigeria's history. Before I proceed any further, I want you to know that I'm not here to make a case for or against the government. We'll leave that task to the politicians, just so we are clear. My name is Wole, and in today's video, I'll be bringing my surgical knife to the table and I will dissect the budget for you in a way you would understand. It will mean so much to me if you smash the like button on this video so that more people will see this kind of video, and kindly subscribe to this YouTube channel if you haven't already. I promise it will help you. And if you stick around to the end of the video, I will tell you a crazy investment opportunity I spotted when the CBN Governor of Nigeria, Mr. Olayemi Cardozo, gave a speech at the 58th Annual Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria dinner that I held 2 weeks ago. I am sorry I will have to throw a lot of numbers around in this video, so just bear with me. That being said, let us cut right to the chase.
And you are now about to feel the strength of street knowledge.
The 2024 budget is screaming 27.5 trillion naira, and everyone has been asking me why I feel the budget is audacious. Nah, I lied. No one asked me. Anyways, out of the 27.5 trillion naira budget, the expected revenue is 18.32 trillion, which leaves us, by us I mean the government, with a budget deficit of 9.18 trillion naira. A budget deficit is when a government spends more than it earns in a year, which is usually the case for every budget cycle in most countries. So it's not a Nigerian thing, just so we are clear. So how exactly will the government fund the deficit? Simpliciter. The government will have to fund the deficit by borrowing money from the public. About 7.8 trillion naira will be borrowed, and through privatization proceeds, meaning the government will have to sell off some of its assets to private individuals to generate the money, which is about 1 trillion naira. That's a lot of money. Unfortunately, 45% of the government revenue, which is about 8.25 trillion naira, will be used to service existing debts. Now, imagine this for a second. You are collecting a salary of 100,000 naira per month, and out of the 100,000 naira, you use 45,000 naira to pay debt anytime your salary drops. What can you do with the remaining 55,000 naira? Your guess is as good as mine. Okay, now the amount that will go into recurrent expenditure out of the 27.5 trillion naira budget is 9.92 trillion naira, while 8.7 trillion will be used for capital expenditure. I'm even scared calling all this trillion. I have to put some respect on the name.
Put some respect on my name. You understand me?
To be clear, recurrent expenditure is the money government spends on administrative stuff like wages and salary payments, while capital expenditure are money spent on long-term investments. Nigeria is the largest producer of crude oil in Africa. Unfortunately, we are rich in resources, but the people are poor. If you ask me why, now who I go ask? And if you have made it this far into the video, please smash that like button. Anyways, from the budget, crude oil, which of course is the major source of government FX revenue, is expected to sell for $77.96 per barrel in the international market, and our daily crude oil production estimate is pegged at about 1.7 million barrels per day. Now, This is a very critical component of the budget, as it will either make or break how far the government will run next year. How exactly do I mean? We all know President Tinubu announced the removal of fuel subsidy immediately he stepped into power in May. About 3.36 trillion naira was spent on subsidy before Tinubu assumed office. So more money should be available to the government to fund the budget with the removal of fuel subsidy. We have come to the part of the video where I will have to break a good news and a bad news to you. I will start with the good news. If crude oil sells above the $77 per barrel price in the international markets and we meet the crude oil production quota of 1.7 million barrels per day, then government will earn more money and they will be able to do more stuff in the economy. From all indications, and given the recent agreement by OPEC countries, OPEC is Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries. They met on Sunday and they agreed to voluntarily call the supply of crude oil in the international market. Coupled with the crisis in the Middle East, it's likely price of crude oil would stay above that $77 per barrel in the international market. The bad news is, with the removal of fuel subsidy, if price of crude oil goes up in the international market, our local price of petrol too would have to be adjusted upwards. I know the price of petrol is currently 568 naira per litre in NNPC filling stations, but you may start buying petrol for as high as 800 naira per litre next year, depending on how high the price of crude oil goes in the international market. Unless of course government returns fuel subsidy. And you know, once the price of petrol goes up, everything becomes more expensive. By the way, quickly comment in the comment section of this video how much filling stations sell petrol in your area. A key area the budget seeks to address is security and defense, which of course has the highest allocation in the budget. A whopping 3.25 trillion naira is allocated to defense and security. And to be honest, government needs to address the issue of insecurity in the country if they want to make any tangible progress. First, if government tackles insecurity, it will make the ease of doing business in Nigeria better, and FDIs are the foreign direct investors, will be willing to invest in the country. As an Oyinbo, is it when I am not sure my life is safe that I will come and invest in your country? They play my fans.
They play my fans.
Secondly, Nigeria's inflation is currently 27.33%. Apart from exchange rate crisis, one of the key factors driving inflation up, especially food inflation, is security crisis in the north. Farmers can't go to farm in peace, and the high cost of transporting products from the north to the south drives inflation figure up. The point I'm trying to make is, our kind of inflation in Nigeria is more of a cost push inflation or supply side inflation than a demand pull inflation. I can do a separate video in the future explaining all you need to know about inflation and how it affects you. Education is also given top priority. Effective January next year, the student loan program will kick off according to the president. If you are a student watching this video, how much do you currently pay as school fees? Let me know in the comment section. So yes, I promise to tell you an investment opportunity I spotted from the CBN's governor's speech at the CIBN dinner held 2 weeks ago. Here is the thing. The CBN governor, Mr. Yemi Cardozo, has said his regime will be heavy on price stability, which, as I have explained in the video above, is the primary responsibility of the apex bank of any country. Government through the CBN ensure price stability and tackle high inflation by adopting a hawkish or a contractionary monetary policy. Inflation is currently high in Nigeria, and the CBN governor has said that he is determined to bring the figures down. But how exactly is he going to do that? He said his government will apply orthodox monetary policies to combat inflation. One of them is hiking interest rates. Again, I explain how this works in this video. Now, here's the golden investment opportunity. CBN has said they would increase interest rates till the end of the second quarter of 2024, which is June, right? What that means is rates on government securities will be higher. 2024 is the time to invest in government security like T-bills and bonds. Imagine buying government securities at 18% interest rate per annum. On a 10 million naira account, that is a 1.8 million naira profit made without lifting a finger. On a 100 million account, sweet 80 million naira earned with little to no risk on your capital. The higher the amount you invest, the higher the returns you get. And where else can you get this kind of return with minimal risk? Or maybe the question is, where can you get that huge capital from? As a bonus tip, if you are a small business owner and your business thrives on loans from banks, now is the best time to borrow money for your business, because once the CBN starts hiking rate beginning from early next year, the rate you will pay on your loan will be higher than the current rate, because banks too will adjust rates on loans. You can thank me later for this tip. And for my Gen Z baddies and ballers, lover boys and Azul spenders, next year is the year to cut down on spendings. Invest those money you want to use to paint the town red first. You can then spend from the interest your investment accrues. The budget has been presented, so we await the Senate, to approve the budget, hopefully by January of next year. My Main Street people, we have come to the end of today's video. If you found value in this video, please give it a thumbs up and kindly subscribe to this YouTube channel if you haven't already. Also join my free Telegram group. It's free. I will leave the link to join in the description of this video, and follow me on IG. I will also leave the link in the description of this video. Download my free trading book on www.wallstreetfinance.com. Link is available in the description of this video. Till I come your way again, signing out, your boy, the ball hedger. Bye bye.